Sweden's Prime Minister accuses the United States of using economic pressure as political blackmail in a deepening standoff over Greenland. Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson has openly condemned U.S. tariff threats, saying Sweden and its allies will not be coerced into submission over the future of the Arctic island. In a strongly worded statement posted on social media, Kristersson said Sweden was coordinating closely with Denmark, other European Union nations, Norway, and the United Kingdom to mount a united response. He made it clear that decisions regarding Greenland rest solely with Denmark and Greenland themselves, stressing that no outside power has the right to dictate the island's future. Kristersson warned that the issue goes far beyond a single country, arguing that Washington's actions affect the entire NATO alliance and the stability of transatlantic relations. We will not let ourselves be blackmailed. Only Denmark and Greenland decide on issues concerning Denmark and Greenland. I will always stand up for my country and for our allied neighbors. This is an EU issue that affects many more countries than those now being singled out. Sweden is now having intensive discussions with other EU countries, Norway, and the United Kingdom for a coordinated response. The remarks follow President Donald Trump's announcement that the United States will impose sweeping tariffs on 8 European NATO nations for opposing his plan to acquire Greenland. Trump said a 10% levy on imports from Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland will take effect on February 1st. He added that the tariffs will rise to 25% in June and remain in place until what he described as the complete and total purchase of Greenland is achieved.
And I may do that for Greenland too. I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security. So I may do that. I'll give you a little, I'll take you out of that. In fact, that'll end up being the story. But actually, this is a much bigger story because we're reducing healthcare by numbers that you haven't seen.
The move has stunned European leaders who see the tariffs as an unprecedented attempt to use trade pressure to force territorial concessions from close allies. The affected NATO countries have recently joined Denmark in sending small military contingents to Greenland, a symbolic show of support for the island's sovereignty. Danish and Greenlandic authorities have repeatedly stated that Greenland is not for sale, pointing to a 2008 referendum confirming the island's continued autonomy within the Kingdom of Denmark. France's President Emmanuel Macron described the tariff threats as unacceptable, promising a coordinated European response to defend sovereignty and alliance unity.
In Greenland, an autonomous territory of the Kingdom of Denmark, it is the Europeans who have a particular responsibility. Because this territory belongs to the European Union, and because this territory is also that of one of our important NATO allies. France has made the decision to join the exercise that was planned and initiated by Denmark in a fully sovereign and independent manner within the framework of Arctic endurance. A first team of French military personnel is already on the ground. It will be reinforced in the coming days by land, air, and naval assets. And I would like to thank the scheme for having promptly, through its Danish partner, organized everything and been able to respond to the very concrete demands that were made. This is the role that France must fulfill, to be prepared and available when facing the assessment of a threat, to know how to adapt effectively, and to stand firmly alongside a sovereign state to help protect its own territory.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen warned that the tariffs risk damaging transatlantic ties and reiterated the European Union's full solidarity with Denmark and Greenland.
And this agreement sends a very strong message to the world. It reflects a clear and deliberate choice. We choose fair trade over tariffs. We choose a productive, long-term partnership over isolation. And above all, we intend to deliver real and tangible benefits to our people and our businesses.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer weighed in, calling the tariffs completely wrong and warning that they undermine NATO at a time of growing global instability. Despite the backlash, Trump has doubled down on his long-standing ambition to bring Greenland under U.S. control, a goal he has pursued since his first term in office. The president argues that Greenland is vital to American national security, claiming it is needed to counter Chinese and Russian influence in the Arctic. Whether the standoff ends in negotiation or further escalation remains uncertain, but for now, Europe is making one message clear: Greenland is not for sale, and Europe says it will not be blackmailed.